Hey guys, welcome back to Writing with Miss Maxie. Happy Friday. Can you believe we've already made it through our first whole week back since winter break? Let's give ourselves a hand. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Today is day 5. Think it through. So here's Herschel on our writing path. Say hi to Herschel. Yesterday we finished up step 3, which was read and gather evidence. So remember we read our 2 source texts. And today, before we move on to step 4, which is plan, we are just going to take some time, organize our thoughts, put them on an organizational box that will help us with our planning when we start to write. So, materials you'll need today are your iReady writing book and a pencil. Our I can statements are I can cite evidence from a text, and I can use text details to provide reasons that support an opinion. So, let's open up in our books to page 78. 78, it should look like this. It will say, think it through. And you'll see this little number 1 right here with our instructions. So we've done these before with our other paragraphs that we've written. And we just need to find details from our 2 source texts to complete this activity. So we read about a tree house, a house made of bottles, a houseboat, and a house on a bike. And we are going to recall details to help us fill out these charts. Let's read our instructions. Fill in each chart. Use details from unusual homes and what's inside. So those are our 2 source texts, and remember that we can always go back and reread them. Feel free to, you can watch the videos from previous days if you want to hear me read it to you again, because we're not going to spend time reading them again today. Or you can just pause the video and try to read it yourself. But our first source text started on page 74, Unusual Homes. Remember that one was about the tree house, the bottle house, and the boat house. And then our second source text is on page 77. This one was about the bike house, what's inside. All right, so let's look at our first box we need to fill in. And this one is about the tree house. The reason why it would be fun and a detail from the text. Hint, use the same words as the text. Okay, so let's think about why would a tree house be fun? What do you think would be fun about living in a tree house? I think there's a lot of different good answers here. So anything you put will be good. One thing that I think would be really fun about living in a treehouse would be a shower of rainwater. Can you imagine like collecting water and then collecting water from the rain and then using it to shower? That sounds so fun. So it's okay if your answer is different than mine. All you have to do is find a detail from the text that tells you, that supports your opinion of what would be fun about living in a treehouse. So the detail that I chose is that this is a sentence directly from the text. They may collect rainwater to use for a shower. So if you think that living in a treehouse might not be that fun and you can't think of a reason, you can use the same reason as me, but I encourage you to come up with your own reason and write your own detail, something different than mine. So go ahead and pause your videos. Make sure you've filled out this first box about the treehouse. make sure you've gone back to your text and checked for evidence to use here before we move on. I'm going to clear my annotations so we can move on. But first, let me show you where I found my detail that I included in my organizational box. And the sentence I wrote was, they may collect rainwater to use for a shower, and that's right here. So try to make sure that your detail is exactly the same as what it says in the text. Let's move on to the bottle house box. What is a reason that living in a bottle house would be fun? Go ahead and pause the video, write your answers down right here. Find a detail from the text. Copy that down here. And I'll go ahead and do my own, but yours should be different than mine. What is a reason living in a bottle house would be fun? I think it would be fun to build part of a bottle house. It would probably take a really long time to put all of those bottles together to make a whole house, but I think it would be fun. And the detail from the text, let's go look. Okay, so it says they put the bottles next to each other like bricks. I think that sounds like a good detail. I'll go ahead and copy that down here. They put the bottles next to each other like bricks. Okay, so you can pause the video here. Make sure everything on page 78 is completed before we move on to page 79. I'm going to clear my annotations. Next, we're writing about the houseboat. Why would living in a houseboat be fun? Hint, picture yourself inside this kind of house. If you lived on a houseboat, what would be the most fun part? I think it would be fun to sleep on the water. So I feel like the rocking motion of the water would probably help me fall asleep fast and sleep really good. But your detail can be anything. You can come up with a completely different reason why it would be fun. And as my detail from the text, let's see. This says, you can tuck yourself into bed as the houseboat floats. You can sail on the water while you sleep. So I'm going to use one of those for my detail from the text. But remember, yours can be completely different than mine. We do not have to have the same thing. You can sail on the water while you sleep. Okay, so if you need extra time here, go ahead and pause your video, finish up this box about the houseboat, and then we'll move on to the bicycle house. So I'm going to clear my drawings and look at the bicycle house box. Reason why it would be fun. So what do you think would be fun about living on a bicycle house? Hint, what do you notice in the picture? Let's go look at the picture again. Well, the most thing that I noticed, or the thing that I noticed most is that it's on a bike. So I'm going to use that in my chart. So I'm going to put, it would be fun to sleep in a house that moves, because you could just bike anywhere you wanted. And my detail from the text, let's see. let's read this call out about the bicycle. The bicycle helps move the home from place to place. That sounds like a good detail. Annotate. The bicycle helps move the home from place to place. And again, your reason and your detail can be completely different than mine. Maybe you think that the bed really up high in the bicycle house would be the reason it would be fun. And you can use the call out about the bed as your detail. Maybe you think it would be fun to have a generator for your TV in your bike house. You can use any detail and any reason you like. So make sure you're done with the bicycle house box. I'm going to clear my annotations. And now I want you to think about all of the houses we just wrote about and remembered: the tree house, the bottle house, the houseboat, and the bicycle house, and choose one out of these 4 that you're going to write your paragraph about. Think carefully about which home you think would be the most fun to visit, and we're going to put a check mark beside our choice. So if I chose the houseboat, I would put a big check mark right here. So I remember for next week that I chose to write about the houseboat. So that's mostly it for today. Thank you so much for completing this chart with me. And for your assignment tonight, let me share my screen so you can see. I just want you to fill in this sentence. It says, complete the following sentence frame/prompt and upload to Schoology. The house I would least like to visit is blank because blank. So remember, we just thought about the house we would most like to visit and put a check mark. Think about the one you would least like you don't really want to go there, or it's your least favorite, even if you would still go there. So tell me which one your least favorite is and why, and upload your answers to Schoology. And that is all. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye.